you mentioned it, so I said let's throw it in here. Jimmy Kimmel has Dr. Dre.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Dre received a
Walk of Fame,
a star
Walk of Fame,
a star on the Hollywood
Walk
of Fame.
Yeah,
and Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and Eminem showed up to give him, and Jimmy Iovine showed up to
give him
to talk. You know how they bring people on there to say good things about the person. So they came out, and while they was in California, they went on the Jimmy Kimmel live show.
Jimmy Kimmel, a lot of times he may have them do a skit, little short skit at the beginning.
So they did a skit,
Dre's Anatomy.
And what happened there? Because I don't,
like Dre's Anatomy, they're doctors.
Oh, Dr. Dre
and the Dr. Dre. And Dre's Anatomy, so they're all Jimmy Kimmel is the patient on the table, and ready to go under. They get ready to operate, and all of them lift up the sheet. Apparently, they're looking at his private part and how little it is, and they can't see it. So they all get little magnifying glasses, and 50 Cent even come out with this big long telescope to see. Come on, man, I got a few here, maybe. And then, okay, man, go a little to the left. And Dre is doing the surgery. I can't, man, did I miss it?
What were they trying to do?
It. They was doing something to his private part, making fun of it being very little. He even picked up something, I guess, to pretend that it is.
That's the thing.
And it was real little. These three black men looking under the sheet at Jimmy Kimmel talking about how small his private part is. So that was the skit.
So who talked them into that?
50 Cent said later on, he said, you guys are going to have to come back and blah, blah, blah on the show. And they like, yeah, man, just don't have us doing no skits like that or something. 50 Cent was like, I don't want to do no skit like that. That was his idea.
Yeah, that was.
So it was cute that, they can all sit and just kind of.
Right.
And they reminisced a little bit. It was so funny. I got to learn a little bit more about Dre.
You saw how he is.
Oh.
He's not the nicest person.
He's not a nice person. But they know he means business. I get it, like Michael Jackson was, they said in the studio. No, I'm saying when he and Prince, I can understand.
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin, Prince, they have little comments about them when they're working.
Yeah.
When they're in the project, they want it perfect. Do it until you get it right.
That's how Dre
Don't take over. And Snoop used a good analogy. Jimmy Kimmel said, when y'all ever do you ever give input? Let him know I don't agree with you. Do you ever disagree with him? And Snoop kind of used
all the time.
He used the analogy, the example of I let Dre drive because he's driving this. This is his project with me working with him. I'm in the passenger seat. Jimmy said, do you ever take over? You ever drive and say, man, you're not doing it right or whatever? He said, no, I do. Imagine this. I changed the station, but I let him keep driving. Right. So
that's how I got because I saw it. First of all, him and Snoop is more friends. They more friends.
Yeah.
50 Cent is not really Dre's friend. He's just
he came in to do a project.
Yeah, he's a project person, and 50 Cent is like that. So you could tell that they bump heads. And 50 was like, when he first worked with Dre, he was younger. You don't see him doing that much stuff now.
No, that was 50 Cent's beginning.
Yeah, that not now because I'm a producer and own stuff.
He got a little money. He said Jimmy asks a lot of questions because he's news media kind of, and he was asking to 50 when he did the project with Dre. You got $1 million, man? He said, what'd you do with it? Snoop said, man, quit asking all them questions and asking what he did with his money. So because he would be getting them in trouble if they say too much. He said, I bought my mom or grandmother or somebody a house. Or a car. Or something like that.
Yeah.
But
so it has here, Dr. Dre appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live to talk about becoming the latest hip-hop legend to receive the star on Hollywood Walk of Fame. During the sit-down, he admitted that being the recipient of such an honor was not on my mental Rolodex at all. He then revealed that he never even visited the iconic landmark until he was 16. Now, I call Cap on that. Cap is you know what Cap is? When young people say I call Cap or whatever, he lying. First of all, you can't say that the Hollywood star was not on your radar because you have to try to get it. You have to fill out an application to get it.
Oh, you apply for
it. You apply for it. Oh. So how can it not be on your radar and you applying for it? Get out of here.
Okay.
It's not like it's a surprise. Like somebody showed up and said, hey, guess what? You get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
You think his people apply for him?
But they have to ask him. They're not just going to apply for something. Okay. And then they have to vote on it and tell you that you up for it. It's like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Now, if they gave him an award at that, they made an award under his name at the one thing.
Oh, at the award show?
You would think next would be the star, right? Hollywood star.
Right.
Thing.
Now, would I not want to get a Hollywood star? I would if I was out there and I've been doing stuff. I want to have a star too, but don't act like it was a big surprise, Dre. Okay. Then the other thing was eventually 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg joined the Compton producer on the couch and talked about a variety of other topics, including the sequel to Doggy Style. So they doing a new album
called Missionary.
That's what he said. I don't know if that's true.
The opposite.
I think they was being funny.
You think they were? They're not calling it Missionary?
I don't know, but I think they being funny.
They was teasing Jimmy. They said, Jimmy love Missionary. Yeah, Jimmy.
So that they talked about that. They have an album coming out. Snoop has songs, songs on there. 50 Cent has a song on there, he said. And Eminem. And then they said Eminem has an album that he's doing that's coming out. Eminem don't have a song on there. He has an album. He has an album
and said he was okay with Dre mentioning that. He had to get back. Otherwise, he would have probably been on the show, too.
Let's see. They talked about that. They talked about...
they read off his portfolio of who he's worked with.
Yeah.
He's worked with a lot of people.
Everybody.
I didn't realize that.
Dre's worked with everybody. I like Dre. I'm a fan of Dre. I'm still not gonna forget, him being abusive to women back in the day.
If he's changed,
but he's young. That's when he was young.
I'm hoping he's not.
We haven't heard anything recently. It's like Diddy. Diddy would have got away way back in the day I was doing that, but Diddy kept trying to still be Diddy.
I know.
Even in 2023.
You're like, keep the spotlight off of yourself.
Yeah.
So he's too arrogant to
maybe
do that.
When you were younger, you were stupid. And then now I'm older. I'm not as, so I thought that was, just.
It's funny too, how Jimmy would ask, he would ask Snoop a question, or he would ask 50 Cent a question as far as involving Dre. And Dre had to cut in and go, no, let me clean.
They all had different stories.
And Dre had to give the right story. I mean, he cut in.
But we don't know if Dre's the right story.
But apparently they was going in, even Snoop didn't remember one song that he was probably so high.
He said, well, how did y'all come up with the name Chronic? And he said some girl was smoking something and they asked her what she called it. She said Chronic or something. But Dre had a whole nother story.
Yeah.
So they all have different.
And he would interrupt them to give the true story. Because
it's true. We don't know if it's the true story or not.
And for him to be interrupting, I don't know.
And they wasn't gonna argue with them. Dre, you can tell Dre gets the last say something.
Yeah.
But when Jimmy gets the last. So he was in the audience. Jimmy Iovine.
Oh, who is that?
The white guy that owns the record label.
He's the owner. Said yes to hi to him.
He's the owner.
Oh, because they did a shot on him, and then they had the drink. What's the drink that they had?
Now they created a juice called. You gonna get it to taste it? Gin and juice, because that was
different flavors.
Sipping on gin and juice, laid back. So now they have a actual product called gin and juice.
Gin and juice.
So
they all sampled it.
They're very excited about it. Comes in different flavors.
Yes.
So are you gonna try one?
I might, because I like fruity stuff.
Gin and juice. It's gonna be nasty. I know is. We don't drink.
I know.
So anytime something tastes licorice, we don't like it.
Yeah. If it's got a odd taste too, but anything sweet.
If it tastes, but if it has,
like a Bahama Mama kind of thing.
But this probably it don't look like that's what. Unless you blend it, I guess. With
ice. It carbonated?
I don't know. So that's what's out now.
They
gin and juice
about that.
In different flavors, like you said. So that's the latest with them. It was nice, like I said, to see Dre get a star.
It is star.
They said that they at the ceremony for the star. They said that they so far the only Super Bowl halftime to win an Emmy.
Wow.
So that's good. I'm sure Usher probably gonna break that record. But so far they have the record.
Okay, that's good.
And I remember that year I was excited because it was hip hop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you don't see much of that at the Super Bowl.
And that was the first year that Jay-Z was over it. And he made them all.
Is he still over it, though?
Yeah, every year he's over it.
I know it was interesting hearing them, because when you hear people talk, if you follow them, usually when you follow entertainers, athletes, whatever, and they're asked questions from the different platforms they're on, you learn more about them, as well as reading through other places. If they're consistently, you kind of learn their personalities. And even as musicians, because I know they shared about Eminem. Eminem is very protective with his
they
songs.
said that. Yeah, he don't
let everybody just, and that was interesting for Dre to even say that.
Right.
Dre come in, do his part, lay down whatever,
right,
and that's it. And then I think Jimmy even asked him about some of the artists coming in and writing on paper and stuff, and he rather them collaborate, work together versus they're in another room, writing something. Yeah. So usually when you are in studio atmosphere environment, you do, like they said, Parliament's George Clinton, they would stay overnight, night after night, but they'd be funky, whatever.
Well, they probably like that anyway.
Then clean, because they would be overnight until they got the end of the song or something, was jiving. Yeah. And I do understand that
a lot of stuff that was written back then. I go back and listen to that. You can tell they was high. George Clinton was, okay, yeah.
I bet you George Clinton and them, they wasn't leaving that studio until they laid that song down.
But now these kids don't care about that. They go in and...
That was one thing. Thank you for saying that. Dre did talk about in the old days when he began, they would take a box or a garbage can, and they would make their noise and their sound. Yeah. He said right now you can Google some and some come up in 2 minutes. Everything. But I like when he said that, because that was like raw. Right off a box. Yeah. When you hearing it in the background, boy, that's a nice sound. Yeah. They were more creative, and I like the creativity. Now you just press a button on a synthesizer, and it does it.
And a lot of these kids, they don't have respect for them. Like,
no, they don't.
So they don't care about.
They don't know the beginnings, the humble beginnings. When you don't have a sound effect that sounds like a tin.
But these guys got to quit trying to. This brings us back to the Kanye and the Kanye. Oh, Kanye. These guys got to stop trying to go into their world, these young kids' world. And the lingo and the way because you're sitting there being, think about when you was 21 and 22 and somebody's sitting in front of you and they are saying something very profound and you sitting there and laughing. You talking like, don't you understand? And they sitting there going, hee haw, and you like,
all kinds of stupid stuff.
So these guys keep trying to go in their world with seriousness and stuff, and that's not what these young kids.
You gotta meet them on their level.
You gotta meet them on their level, and you gotta understand. I was thinking about this the other day. I never once thought about dying when I was young.
Okay, until now.
Do you ever think you never thought about it? Did you? And y'all out there, you never thought when we was like young, we never thought about dying. Like, I may not be here next year,
or I get a burial plot together, or how are we going to be buried, or how's our funeral? And grandma at the time was in her 50s. Yeah, and we were like, she old. In her 50s.
Wow.
When you get older, you think about it. I know. We're saying now we're in a different season in our lives where we kind of. So you're trying to say how young kids are not.
They don't think like that.
They're in a whole
and then
different...
they don't plan like that. And then I'm thinking, like, Mama, she 80. What she think about?
She 80.
Because if we think about it, what she think about it? Do you think about it if you go to bed, you gonna wake up the next day?
I'm excited because I know where I'm going.
Okay.
I know, but do you think about you may not be here next month?
Yeah.
Because remember, she talk about heaven a lot. Don't you? I guess when you older, you talk about heaven a lot.
See, we haven't gotten there yet.
You're more excited because if you know that you're saved, you're happy.
I guess so.
But we don't talk about heaven like that now. So we still right now we talking about like planning. This how we talk now. We talk like, if God say the same and I'm here, I want to be prepared to be here at 80. That's what we think about right now.
You don't know if you're going tomorrow.
Yeah, you don't have to prepare, I guess.
So I guess at your age, you would be a little bit more relaxed to say, if I go, I go. If I don't, Lord, I like to stay some more years. Like Hezekiah was praying for more years in the Bible, and he added 15 more years.
No, this one I think more of. I don't want to be sick. I don't think about. Yeah, that's true. So that's what I was saying. All of that to say with Dr. Dre and them, they are on a different level. So I hope when he puts this album out, him and Snoop, they not anticipating it being.
Well, think about it too.
Millions and millions and millions of people listening to it.
But back up. I was telling you, you got an audience that follows you until you leave this earth.
Oh, so they do. They have a fan base.
There's people that still love George Clinton in the Parliament.
That's true.
He's got that base that's gonna follow him and be excited.
Right.
The young kids, it's a hit or miss. You're right, because they may not. The messaging may not even go over their heads. Yeah. Maybe their dad or their grandpa may be listening to it, and then they'll hear, "What you listening to? Oh, this Dre's new cut." Yeah. I like that, Daddy. I like that. So you never know.
We'll see how this album come out. I just hope they don't think if it don't hit like the first Chronic, don't be upset.
Yeah.
That was in a different time and a different era.
Yeah.
And then our age, not listening to that like we was, sipping on gin and juice, laid back, my money, my mind on my money, and my money on my mind. No, we thinking about what kind of seat, cushion to put in our chair in the car, so that our back and our butt won't hurt if we drive over 2 hours.
I asked you, but
nobody's leaning back, sipping on gin and juice.
Old school. I was like middle age, your age. We always talk about the music and how people are doing. I said, what are the guys doing now near your age more so than mine? Because you say my age is old. They're like Steve Harvey and
my age
and Sinbad when they leaning and they got gray hair.
My age is caught up to yours.
Oh,
we in the same category.
Snoop is how old? 40s, 50s?
The same, 50. We in the same. We've caught up to y'all. It was a point to where you were ahead.
Yeah,
but now we all kind of old in the same category.
How old is Dre?
Same, my age.
Your age? That's 50s.
They all about my age.
So 50s is on its way to 60. So do they hang out the way they do? Do they club the way they do? You know what I'm saying? Or is it old school clubbing? Everybody
Dr.
there
Dre
is in their
59.
See, he's 60.
That's what I'm saying.
When they go out to a club atmosphere,
Snoop is 52.
Do they all be that age? You know, they're not like Kai's age.
No.
Or DDG.
No.
You know? So
50 Cent is 48.
Yeah.
See, they all that Michelle, or our cousin, she's starting to blend into us now.
Okay.
After a certain age, you just start all blending together to where everybody else is like, you
still
old school.
Young and we're old school now. Okay.
And then mama and them just old.
You don't even say old school.
They not old school. Wrong. They old. Nobody listen to Jackie Wilson. She listened to Jackie Wilson growing up.
You had a good meme on Facebook.
She in a whole other category.
Asking the question, what cover songs
that you didn't know
that we didn't know was a remake.
Right.
That somebody remade it. I know Wendy did. Wendy, you on if she on. Wendy, you did what's her name from Whitney Houston? And I will always love you.
I knew that.
We all know that one, Wendy. But we're talking about ones that nobody knew.
Right.
And a few of us did the same one when we did Hound Dog. What's her name? Did Hound Dog?
I knew Hound Dog was a cover.
I knew it was a cover, but we didn't know who. Mama Thornton.
I didn't know who it was, but I knew that was.
But I told my sister, I said Beyonce did a cover with B.C. Smith, I think is her name. Mm-hmm. But she didn't even. It wasn't even an old song. She took a song the girl put out this year in 2008. And If I Was a Boy. That's something.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm saying most of the time when you do cover songs, you kind of like give it a time frame before you do it over. Not the year they put it out.
Right.
Beyonce, come on now. If I Was a Boy. Yeah. But I get it. I like that meme because it did make me go, oh, my, how many cover songs have been?
It's a lot.
Dre and them took
everybody a lot of them. So a lot of them. All right, so that was Dr. Dre.
That was a good interview. I enjoyed.
Yeah, it was funny seeing them all together. Seeing them.
Okay.
I wish they was like that in real life.
Yeah.
A lot of these people not like that in real life.
They're a different person.
But when they get on the show or whatever, that's they playing a character.
Okay.